in wondering what's a metric for how we should treat each other. How do we judge? Like, is God really telling us to do these things? Or is this just some kind of crazy thing we're doing outside of the realm? I think a really good metric, and I think this is what Jesus says. I don't know if this is cultural now that I'm saying it, but do unto others as ye would have done unto you. I think that's in the Bible. I think that's what Jesus says. I'm going to have to check into that and double check, because maybe it's a cultural thing. Like the give a man a fish phrase, that's cultural. That's not in the Bible. Interesting, huh? Give a man a fish and he'll eat for a day. Teach a man to fish and he'll eat for a lifetime. That's not really in the Bible. But I'm pretty sure do unto others as ye would have done unto you. And I think it's ye, as thee would have done unto you. I don't know. Anyway, I think that could be a metric. That's a perfect metric. And there are, yes, the random outlier of people who want to be harmed, like sweet dreams, right? Some of them want to be abused. Well, there's an outlier of people who want harm done to them. Therefore, should they be then harming others? Well, no, because I think literally everyone wants things done to them according to their preference. And if I want things done to me according to my preference, and I would like my preference to into consideration when people are making their judgments on what they're going to do and how they're going to treat me, then I will also take somebody else's preference into consideration. And I think that is a standard we could all agree to, even people who want harm done to them. And there might be, in infinity, there likely would be some very small percentage of people who don't fit that and it wouldn't work for. And I would say if you find yourself in a small pocket of infinity with one of those beings, well, that's just how it went. And that was an interesting spiral you ended up in. But for the most part, I think we would all hope that our preferences would be taken into consideration. For example, I'm walking down the street, and even though I wouldn't mind getting in a fist fight with the next person I see, they don't want to get in a fist fight. And so our wants are equal. I love my neighbor as myself. I feel like it's their need of not taking damage to their body, because in order to continue to function and survive, like, we have needs, and our body staying whole and sound is a need. Our body has to do repair work if there's damage taken to it. So I would say damage taken to a body is in the need category. And so needs always trump wants, and wants are kind of on par. And my wants should never trump your needs, and my needs should never be below your wants. But if we both have needs, then it's just kind of up according to the individual. A need versus need situation, like, who knows? It would have to be assessed on a case-by-case basis, but your needs don't trump my needs, because they're both needs we'd have to assess. And a lot of times we just go with our own needs because we're us, but greater love hath no man than this, than a man lay down his life for his friend. So, like, if you lay down your need for your friend's need, that shows a lot of love, and that kind of helps define the word love too, doesn't it? And God is not going to give his son a stone or a snake when he asks for a fish. He's not going to give you a stone when you ask for bread. Like, God just logically knows, like, it's not just going to be this argument of semantics. Like, God just, he knows what's good for you. He knows what you want. So it's like, there could be metrics to measure, like, is God telling me to do this thing? This thing sounds crazy to do. Is God telling me to do this? And I think that analyzing it based on that could be a good indication. There could be ways of judging and gauging, because I also don't think God is going to be commanding us to do things that's against his nature. And his nature is to not give you a serpent when you ask for a fish. His nature is to not screw you over and just do stupid things to you just to bug you and get in your way. That's not really his nature. So, yeah, I think the metric of do unto others as you would have done unto yourself is a pretty good standard. Also, you could think one standard I think about, this is just in talking to kids and my kids about why we do certain behaviors, because, they want to know why. And it's like, well, that's okay. You want to go down that rabbit hole. And then they tell me I talk too long. How is that happening? How is that possible? How is it possible to ask a question and then not wait for the answer? It's so insane. Okay, so I think do unto others, and then also if you take your action and you magnify it out to the entire world, it doesn't work for everything. There's some things where there's a gray area, but for a lot of times it makes sense. Like if I'm going to punch my neighbor in the face, well, if everyone just turned right at that moment and punched their neighbor in the face, would the world feel like a better place? And likely you're getting punched in the face too, maybe multiple times. If everyone said, all right, everyone gets one free punch today. You can punch whoever you want in the face. How many times would you get punched in the face? And then we'd all realize that we're all jerks. It would be an interesting experiment if everybody were honest. But then you'll get the political stuff. People acting for political reasons, for position in their social structure and such like that. Jesus says, give unto Caesar what Caesar is. Like, we don't need to be dealing with that political stuff. Let's just... I mean... I don't know. I don't know. Cain and Kodos are creepy. There's just two of them. But then there's a lot more, aren't there? There's a whole planet of the Cain and Kodos aliens that they've got really good technology. So if it's a Cain and Kodos situation, I don't know. Are we just screwed anyway? But maybe they're just people. Maybe we're all just people. Maybe we could just... Maybe it's not a Cain and Kodos situation. It's those ads. The ads that turn into monsters that just don't look. Just don't look. Just don't look. There's wars and rumors of wars. Just don't pay any attention. That stuff has to happen. Right? Maybe just things are coming to your spot, and that's when you care about it. That's when you deal with it, handle it. Maybe it's a just don't look situation. Because if we all just turned our backs and we're just like, you know what, I think I'm going to take a break, just like when you're setting boundaries. Okay, I think I'm going to take a break from this, global thing right now. I'm just going to stay over here and, do my farm and stuff. And, I'm just going to trade with my neighbors. We think that we can be self-sufficient here in our little pocket. We're just not going to be branching out quite so much. We just need to take a break. We're not backing out forever. We're just taking a little break. Things are getting a little too crazy. We just need to take a step back, take a breath. Everybody just take a breath. Look around and think about what you're doing. Are you mucking things up? Are you Kent Brockman or whoever you are smashing things? Just stop. Just take a break. Think about what you're doing. What are you doing? World leaders? Do you need a woman to look after you? It seems like it. It seems like you're severely lacking a mother. It seems like the matriarchy is... It's almost as if the matriarchy is severely underpowered. Seems like we're out of balance in some weird way. Huh. That's weird. Who could have predicted that? You mean we're trying to throw it back in balance by overcorrecting now? This pendulum swings back a little. Like, don't worry about it. Geez, just take a breath. Take a break. Just take a break for a minute. Let's just calm down. What are we doing here? Why are we doing it? What's really going on here? We're just a bunch of people living our lives. Are some people putting their wants above other people's needs or other people's wants? I mean, look at what you're doing. Just analyze your own behavior and just think about it. Just try to be objective with yourself. Why is it so hard to be objective about myself? Why do I feel cellularly alone? Such a good line. That's an Alanis Morissette song. So good. It's called These Are the Thoughts. And it is just, I don't know, it's just so free-flowingly good. It's just so good. And the lines, cellularly alone. Oh, it's profound. It's on so many levels. It's just so good. Why is it such work to stay conscious and so easy to get stuck? How is it so hard to stay in the moment, the present moment, just be here and now? Why is that so hard? It is. Why would it be? And probably something in our culture and society is making it difficult to do so. It's just making us distracted. Just don't look. Just don't look. Just need to take a step back. Can we support ourselves if we take a break? Probably, if we just slow down. If we just slow down and breathe. Can we just try to not poison each other? Can we just have seeds that work year after year? So I know that's a really good business model you've thought of, and it's really, it's a scam. It's scammy, but it's clever. It's a clever thing you've done. It's clever. We give it to you. But here's the thing though, objectively, is that really making society better? It kind of is. God's using it for good because everyone's seeing it happen and going, we don't want that for sure. So let's make a law against that maybe. But we just don't even need to do that in the first place. Can we just have good human nature, do unto others? Do you want that happening to you kind of thing? And what if that was your grandma or child? You were doing that too? That which you do to the least of these, my brethren, you do to me also. Jesus. Just think about those least members of society that are getting harmed, or any member. If you're doing something to get gain above loving your brother, then I think that that's an incorrect action. And I think that truly loving your brother would be to say, let's create seeds that are not for profit, that are just for the betterment of humanity and culture and society. It's just better. And I don't know if everyone agrees on GMOs though, because that seems like dabbling in things we don't fully understand. And I think that's a bit irresponsible. But something like hybrids and stuff, I think that we could really work together to create cool stuff. And if we do something I don't know, I heard, and this could very well be a conspiracy theory, just a rumor, but it sounds cool, is that the Amazon rainforest is a food forest, a giant food network. So you could just grow, have food. You just walk outside and there's your food. It's just all over the place, all over the ground. We should do that stuff. Food forests are cool. Do they actually work in real life? I think so. I don't know. I have never seen one. I saw a baby one in action that seemed like it was working. I've seen a lot on YouTube, of course. Seems cool. But there could be a better way to do the crops than monoculture, so we don't have to poison everybody. And maybe we could all work together on that instead of gadgety trinkets that are just polluting the environment. And we could just spend time together. We have so many cool things now. We don't have to do all that stuff. We don't need all the gadgety things. And yes, it seems scary. Everyone's going to be out of work, but maybe we just now spend our time just doing food and agriculture and stuff.